We have to start planning, restarting life. We're not there yet, but this is not a light switch that we can just flick one day and everything goes back to normal. We're going to have to restart that economy. We're going to have to restart a lot of systems that we shut down abruptly, and we need to start to plan for that. And I spoke to the governors, Governor Murphy and Governor Lamont, about coming up with a regional, metropolitan, tri-state approach to do just that. How do we, when we get to that point, which we're not at, but how do we restart our economy and get everything up and running as quickly as possible? My personal opinion is going to come down to how good we are with testing. You're not going to end the infection and end the virus before you start restarting life. I don't think you have that luxury. How do you start the economy back up? How do you start getting back to work as quickly as possible? It's going to come down to testing. You're going to have to know who had the virus, who resolved the virus, who never had it, and that's going to be testing. And that is an entirely new field that we're just developing now, right? New York State developed, a Department of Health developed an antibody testing regimen that Department of Health has approved for use in New York State. That has to be brought to scale, and the Department of Health is going to be working with the FDA to do just that. This tests the blood to determine whether or not you have the antibodies, which means you had the virus and resolved the virus. That's why you would have the antibodies for the virus. That would mean that you're no longer contagious, and you can't catch the virus because you have the antibodies in your system, which means you can get to work, you can go back to school, you can do whatever you want. But you have to have that testing, and you have to have that testing on a scale, right? You have 19 million people in the state of New York. Just think of how many people you would need to be able to test and test quickly. So the antibody testing is part of that. Also, rapid testing to determine whether or not you have the virus now exists. They have, quote unquote, 15-minute tests that are commercially available. But again, they have to be brought to scale. No private company has the capacity to bring those to scale. So I was speaking with Governor Murphy and Governor Lamont. We are interested in working with private companies that can actually bring this testing capacity to scale, and to scale quickly. Because again, if you have the antibody testing, that's part. If you can then test if a person is positive for the virus, and you can do it that day, and you can get those results in 15 minutes, that's also another way to get back to life and do it quickly. So we're very interested in that in New York, so is New Jersey, so is Connecticut.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.